Well, hello, everybody. If you landed here tonight, you're at the Be On Air Forum for a very special, exclusive edition, and we're just so happy for you to be here. For those of you who might not know me, my name is Linda Lejeski, and I am the National Employer Relations Representative for the Be On Air network of media schools, which includes Ohio Media School, Illinois Media School, Colorado Media School, and Miami Media School. This Be On Air Forum, we're now in our fourth year of production. We are a bi-monthly webinar series that is brought to you from Career Services at our school so that you have an opportunity to meet the pros, to grow within that opportunity you're looking to launch, and to really build your network. We are 40 years at the Be On Air network of media schools, almost 40 years. And our purpose and our brand says to learn from a pro to be a pro. So how fitting for these forums that we bring you together with industry pros and that you have a chance to go back to our YouTube channel, the Be On Air, original Be On Air YouTube channel, and see a great library of our guests. Well, I made a promise to our guests that I was only going to talk briefly because I know you're really here to meet all of our folks that are here. So if you give me just a quick second, I'm going to do a quick introduction and then I'm going to turn the mic over. We have just a wonderful lineup for you. It's going to be a jam-packed hour, so get comfortable and get ready to put your questions in the chat. The person you came to meet is our wonderful Krayzie Bone of Bone Thugs and Harmony. He's a really good friend of our Cleveland campus and of the Be On Air network of media schools. And he's just so happy to be here to tell a little bit of his story. He's a two-time Grammy Award winner. And of course, the band is iconic. And everybody, no matter where I go, when I say I'm from Cleveland, Krayzie's name always comes up, and I'm very proud to say I'm a Clevelander, and he's a friend of mine. With Cray tonight, we have O.C. May Neal, who is the president and founder of the Spread the Love Foundation, which is Krayzie Bone's 501c3, and they're going to be talking a little bit about that nonprofit and where that concept and idea came from and the importance of engaging in your community to uplift and to raise up others. Also joining us is Derek Jackson D. Loren. He is an awesome guy, the marketing director of Spread the Love Foundation. He is involved with, so many marketing projects. And he's going to not only talk about the things that he does with Spread the Love Foundation, but we're also going to dig a little deeper into urban marketing and the ways to make yourself effective when you're out there marketing yourself. Our moderator is a very kind and lovable Tony Lopez. He is our education coordinator at Illinois Media School. He is an alumni of Illinois Media School as well. He's co-host of a podcast, The Parley, and just, this one, you all know him, everybody that's signed in this from Illinois Media School. He is truly the wind beneath the wings of the students as they go through the program, helping to encourage and educate them so they can be successful in the things that they're doing. We have a lot of information that we're going to share tonight. And so, Tony, without any ado, I am going to hand the microphone to you so that you can begin this great conversation and exclusive opportunity with Krayzie Bone, O.C. May, and Derek. So take it away.
Thank you, Linda. Thank you. Appreciate it. Welcome, everybody, to the Be On Air Forum here on our channel. And we want to thank all 7 campuses, students who are tuned in, even people who are not students or not active students, whether that be alumni or you're just not a student at all. We want to welcome you to the forum here on this Monday night. I'm not going to lie. The campus here in Illinois and Chicago is lit. They are, most of them are tapped in. Excited about this forum today as we have our guests here. So we can't wait to do this. But O.C. May, thank you. D. Loren, thank you. And of course, KB, you already know, man, a pleasure to have you here on the forum. We're going to get right to it. First, we'll start from the beginning here. Obviously, I'm going to go to Krayzie Bone first on this one. We all know you, man. You're an icon in the music industry. We know what you've done. And we'll just start with you first. And as we ask these questions, and I'm so sorry about the little housekeeping for all the students out there. When the 45-minute mark hits on the forum, we will do our normal Q&A session for our guests and ask them anything you guys want, and we will present it here on the forum. Sorry about that. But back over to KB. This forum is all about, informing students and people out there about how to be creative, about how to, develop their brand or get insight from, industry professionals that are in the media industry / even music industry, such as you have been. So we'll start with you, Krayzie Bone. How did you get into the music industry, number one, and how did your creativity affect what you did in your career?
Man, well, first of all, I started loving music, like back in it was early, like the 4th or 5th grade. I was a huge fan of Michael Jackson. That's what really, lit my fuse for music was I saw Michael Jackson perform, and I told my mother, I said, that's what I want to be when I grow up. And she thought I was joking, but I was dead serious. You know what I'm saying? I was a young kid, but I was dead serious, and man, I went from, Michael Jackson to New Edition to LL Cool J. That was like the pattern. It was Mike, New Edition, and LL Cool J. Once I got to LL Cool J, and I heard I heard the hip hop, and I used to listen to his radio album every single day. You know what I'm saying? And then I wanted to learn the songs, so I started writing down the lyrics. And as I was writing down the lyrics, I saw how to actually write a rhyme, write a verse. He taught me how to write a verse and everything. So after that, I started writing on my own, and I just never stopped. And by the time I got to junior high, that's where I met the rest of the fellas in Bone, and we formed a group. We formed a group called the Band-Aid Boys. At first, we used to walk around school with Band-Aids on our face, and you know what I'm saying. Then we, as we got out of school, we changed our name to Bone Enterprise, and then right before we went to California, we dropped the Enterprise, and we just kept Bone. And man, we from that point, we hustled up some money, and I mean, first of all, we had dried up all our avenues in Cleveland as far as chasing music. Back then, it wasn't really too much of a music scene. It was, but it was very underground. Mm-hmm. We would listen to the college stations in Cleveland, trying to find talent shows or any way that we could showcase our music. And once those avenues ran dry, we came up with the idea. We was huge fans of NWA and Eazy-E. So we was we was fans of the East Coast as well. But when NWA came out, it just we related to them way more because they talked about the stuff we was actually living. You know what I'm saying? So we gravitated towards them, and we just came up with the bright idea one day to take one-way bus tickets to Los Angeles. We didn't have nowhere to live. We didn't know what we was gonna do. All we knew was we was looking for Eazy-E. And man, we took them one-way bus tickets and just risked everything. We was like, it's either now or never. So we got up, we left Cleveland on one-way bus tickets, and our search for Eazy began. And man, the rest is history.
Yeah, no, absolutely. I mean, from that, we got the iconic greats, First of the Month, and Crossroads, and you can go down the list of everything and the success that y'all had. Musical creativity is one of those things, KB, that is very hard, and I know as artists, you can run into what's called that brick wall or creator's block or writer's block, right? Yeah. And KB, you know this at least from my knowledge. This school has a lot of musical artists, aspiring musical artists, aspiring producers, and so if you could talk about a little bit, how do you balance, I guess, the creative authenticity, right? Because you want to be creative, but you want it to also work So how did you balance during your career?
Man, I find that the best way to create when you're doing music is to, especially when you're a singer or rapper, is to talk about real issues. Like, I think music has swayed away from that a lot. You don't really hear too many people talking about the struggle and really talking about how they struggle to come up. Because nowadays, when rappers come out now, they're already rich, and it seems like they've been rich their whole lives. But we all know that's a lie. But you just don't hear too much about the struggle that much. So what I did was I just because I've always been inspired by life, just being alive in this crazy world that we live in. If you can't draw inspiration for that, then maybe you really shouldn't be an artist. You know what I'm saying? Because life gives you, the lives we live gives you so much to vibe off of. You know what I'm saying? And when you simply just keep it real and write what you feel and write what you're going through, and just, it ain't always got to be a serious sad song, but people are attracted to realness. They'll dance and they'll club with you. You know what I'm saying? They'll go to the club with you on those kind of songs. But at the end of the day, people got to go back to their problems. You know what I'm saying? Like, no matter how much we try to run from them, and like I always call my music struggle music. You know what I'm saying? Because you always got to come back to it. And it help, like people have told us so many times that our music have saved their lives or helped them get through a struggle or prevented them from committing suicide. And to me, that's worth more than any accolades you can receive in this business. You know what I'm saying? Is when you actually help somebody through your craft, and that's really what I base it on, man. I just try to keep it real, and just because I know people love realness.
Yeah, without a doubt. I mean, those are some great words there spoken by you. I mean, a lot of, and you mentioned it, KB. A lot of what artists write about is their life experience, right?
Yeah.
And or their past, in sorts. So, I know that you guys, you specifically too, have done that, right? Even to the your latest your video song from 4 months ago.
Yeah.
When you were in the hospital, and you literally took us through what you went through, and that
Right.
was it was very eye opening. How was that experience with that song specifically differ than what you had done earlier in your career?
Man, it was different, because it was like, I mean, it really wasn't that much different, because like I said, we, like, a lot of what we talk about on our songs, whether past or present, is stuff we've experienced. We've either seen it, we know somebody that's went through it, you know what I'm saying? So we report on like a lot of things that we see in life. And that song was just, when I woke up, in the hospital, like even the nurses was telling me, they was like, you got to make a song about this. They was like, you have to make a song about it. It's going to be used. And I was like, oh yeah, I'm already thinking about it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So it was like, man, as I was doing the song, it brought back, you know what I'm saying? It brought back those vivid like memories of what I went through. But man, it was, I mean, that it inspired that song. You know what I'm saying? That life situation that I went through influenced that song all the way.
Yeah. That's awesome, man. Listen, you know that you still got fans. Bone Thugs is still spoken about around campus, and around friends and so forth. So you guys continue to make an impact on the next generation, and it's always good to see that. So I'm very happy to be able to share this platform with you and tell you that as well, KB. Transitioning over, we're gonna get to Ozzy May here in a second, and D Lorraine as well, but outside of your music career, you have your foundation, and it's called Spread the Love Foundation. And
Yes.
I just want to talk a bit about how that came about. Where did it, where it stemmed from?
Well, Spread the Love actually came about from a documentary that me and Busy Bone had done when we done our project together, New Waves album. We done a project together called New Waves, and we done a documentary that never came out. But the documentary was called Sons of St. Clair. It actually won at one of the film festivals, and so after seeing it at the film festival and like just seeing, it was actually about us growing up in Cleveland. And after I saw the results and the feedback we was getting from it, I was just like, yo, I need to go back to Cleveland, and I need to be a positive force for doing positive things. And also when I went back to Cleveland to my old neighborhood, it was damn near abandoned. Houses was boarded up, condemned. It wasn't like we remembered it. So I was just I was like, yo, something needs to be done. And also, I know how we had to, like I said earlier, we didn't have that many opportunities for music in the city of Cleveland back then, and it's still not that many now. You know what I'm saying? So I was like, yo, I wanna do something and do some programs here to teach these young artists that's coming up the business, because me being in the game for 30 years, I've seen a lot of artists, including ourselves, get bad deals because we didn't have this at the time. We didn't have the knowledge, and the knowledge and education is very important in this industry. That's why the game is so lopsided and the artist is on the losing end. So we have to, I feel like we have to educate ourselves. We have to come in with the knowledge, because like back in our era, like artists didn't really have knowledge of the game. You get a deal, like we came from nothing. So
Right.
somebody put a deal in front of our face, we signing the deal. Like I don't care if this deal say you robbing us. We signing the deal. We ain't got nothing else to go to. Like, you know what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
but it's like, had we had the knowledge, we could have maybe like took it around and like got some people to like look at it to like make it fit in our and like make it go a little our way. But you know what I'm saying? So I feel like education is key. Education is really key for anything, any occupation you want to pursue. You want to know the most you can know about this certain occupation that you're trying to endeavor upon. So man, I just feel like I wanted to come back and I wanted to set these programs up for these young artists, to give them an opportunity to at least know what they're talking about and know what they're looking at when they're looking at contracts. So that's where the whole Spread the Love came about, and from there it just grew into feeding people, giving coats and school supplies out to the community, and just being in the community. It just a lot has spread from it. To me, even like trying to I'm partnered with the city of Cleveland to help revitalize the area we came up in, and we're calling it the Harmony District. So a lot came from this Spread the Love situation.
Yeah, I mean, giving back at any point in anybody's career is a highlight, and you being able to do something like this from your original standpoint of being able to educate artists, to, like you just said, giving, right, feeding people, servicing people into greatness. That's awesome. It's awesome to hear, KB. Ozzy, we lost Ozzy here for a second. Ozzy, are we back? Are we good?
Yes, so
Okay.
Sorry about that. We had some technical difficulties, so I just logged off and logged back on. So, and it's OC May, as country as you can say it. OC. OC May.
OC. Okay, OC May. I got you now. Well, OC, she's the president and CEO of Spread the Love Foundation, and KB was just talking about the foundation itself, what it represents, and what you guys do. First, how did you get involved with the foundation, and what pivotal role do you play with it?
Well, I was introduced to Spread the Love Foundation by Krayzie Bone. So he had the vision about a year before he gave me the vision and let me know what he wanted to do for Cleveland and what his vision was for Cleveland and how he wanted to give back to the community. And so I have been the connector and kind of the bridge builder, if you will. So he is the visionary and I am the builder. So once he gave me the mission, then we went forth and conquered. But yeah, so Cray started down this path, I believe, in 2018. And then it was 2019 when he brought me into the opportunity. And we've been going ever since. So we started having our first meetings around the top of 2020, just before COVID hit. And so that kind of threw a monkey wrench in her program. However, it also created the opportunity for us to have the time because Cray is super duper busy. So it's very hard to pin him down. So actually COVID helped us to be able to formulate the foundation for the organization, bring on our board, and really do the fundamental work to launch everything. And we had a lot of other big events that have also helped to position Spread the Love to be able to do things on a bigger scale. And so it's been fun and I enjoy it. So, but yeah, I am the connector for Cleveland and beyond, but pretty much, yeah.
That's pretty important. You're pretty important.
Well, we all important because if really at the end of the day, of course, if you lose Krayzie Bone from the organization, it makes it a different organization, but it's the same for the skill sets and the talents that Dee Loran and myself that we bring to the table as well. So this is our leadership team, and we all bring a certain piece to the puzzle to make the formula work. So it would be like changing the formula would be sort of like what Coke did and Coca-Cola did with the new Coke. So, you know, it's a winning formula, really.
You know, you've been at the forefront of, you know, urban arts and education. And, you know, what you guys do, you know, a lot of the times from what I see, you guys serve a lot of underserved communities. And there's so many challenges I'm sure you guys face when you're out there, right?
Mm-hmm.
You know, how do you I guess overcome certain bouts that way when it comes to just being able to get your mission complete? You know, how do you see it in the role that you play?
Well, for me in particular, as the person that I am, I'm a by any means necessary type of person. So whether it is pulling out the brooms and sweeping or doing a high level task or whatever, you really have to be in a mindset and a attitude of service. And so whatever that service is really having the tenacity and a heart and a mind of service, a mind of excellence, and really just the tenacity to stick it out. Because nonprofit work, regardless of who you are, it's hard work and it is a heavy lift, but we've been blessed to have some very talented individuals be a part of the organization. Of course, our chairman is who he is, but our vice president is who he is, and I am who I am, and we have some other heavy hitters on our board who really have a heart to serve. And really at the end of the day, you know, as long as God is guiding your purpose and you being obedient, that's really all the help that you need, really. But that still doesn't mean it's going to be easy.
Yep. No, got to work harder for everything without a doubt. That's something that, you know, we are always installing into our students because things don't just happen from night to day, unless you're really lucky. Unless you're really lucky.
And even that look like luck, it still ain't luck.
Facts right there. You know, Vice President Dee Loran, we're gonna bring you into the conversation. You know, you deal with the marketing, right? You're the I guess I don't know if I want to say the face of social media for the organization. Is that safe to say? Maybe.
No. But continue.
All right, I tried. Hey, I tried. But you have a unique perspective with multicultural marketing and strategy, and so I to my understanding, you do work on the marketing side for the foundation itself, and I'm sure many other roles as well. But how unique is this type of foundation, I guess, to where you are you're working with people, right? You're giving services and things of that nature. You're working with KB, and OC, what's your role and how do you play it?
My role is I kind of move around and kind of get in where I fit in and make sure that we get whatever needs to be done accomplished. We all have certain titles, so I have a title of being the VP and Chief Marketing Officer, but I'm also really heavily involved in the programming aspect and just whatever else is needed. We kind of just work together as a team in that way to make sure to get all things accomplished. But primarily, marketing, it is a critical function in the success of any business. And specifically as relates to urban marketing, I don't think that there's too much of a difference. As I think what works is what works across the board. And I think what that is just creating a real emotional connection with whoever your target audience is.
Right.
That's what, and that comes from being authentic, kind of what Krayzie Bone was touching on earlier, just being your true authentic self. You're really going to reach your people, your tribe, if you just being who you are and being what you are about and walking in that purpose and what your brand is all about. You're going to attract those people. So that's really the secret that isn't a secret as far as marketing goes, is people want to spend money with and do business with people who they really care about on some level. That they might care about you, they might love you, they might hate you. First, you got to get them to care. The worst thing about it is when people are apathetic, then that's when they don't care and they don't spend and they don't pay any attention. So, that's, like I said, that's kind of the untold secret of marketing, is really just making that emotional connection. And that's easy to do with what we're doing with our program because it's needed. Our target audience are young adults who are, young teens and young adults who really have a passion for entertainment and the entertainment business. And they want to learn about it, but they don't know where to go to learn about it. Kind of like Krayzie Bone didn't know where to go to learn about it. So he did know where to go. He went to California. So the thing is, we want the people here where he grew up to not have to go to California because everybody doesn't have that opportunity. So we're here in the business of trying to create opportunities for the amazing amount of talent that we know resides here in our area that needs that mentoring, that fostering, that networking, that leg up to be able to go to the next level. And so, that's kind of what our purpose and our mission is all about with our programs. Our Interest to Income is the name of our flagship program, which is really a workforce development program to teach, youth and young adults the business of entertainment, the behind the scenes business, which is often overlooked because people don't know about it. They only know about what they see, and our youth only know about being a singer or being a rapper because that's all that they see or they hear about. So there's so many other industries that make up the whole, so many careers that make up the entertainment industry. And we want to help our youth find their niche to be able to be a part of that and contribute to that. Even if they can't sing or they can't rap, they may have a great eye for visuals and be able to create album covers or advertisements for, posters for concerts or whatever the case may be, or a publicist or a marketing professional or a program director at a radio station. They may be good with numbers and be a business manager. All these things are part of the pieces of the puzzle to really be a part of the recording industry and the entertainment industry. So, we know that everybody has kind of the passion to sing and rap because that's what they kind of know about, but we also know that most people can't do that. So, but everybody has something that they can contribute to positive to this industry that they can make a career out of in this industry, and be able to go to all these cool places across the world and meet all these cool people, and be a part of this industry, even if they can't sing or can't rap. So that's kind of the focus of our program.
That's awesome. And Derek, I want to ask you just one more question here. With that, digital marketing has changed, even past 5-10 years, per se. How do you, just like you guys spread the love, how do you spread the word, right? How do you spread the word when you're marketing about such an organization like this, and to garner a broader audience, if that makes sense?
Yeah, I think there are new technologies that are emerging every single day, literally. There are different platforms that are emerging all the time. So, you know, StreamYard, this platform we're on right now, is an example. I mean, this wasn't here just a few years ago. Now, this is what you guys are using, to connect different schools across different states. I think that's the number one thing right now. Outside of all of the traditional means of marketing, is to really, be up on the emerging technology and the emerging, platforms that are coming out all of the time, to really, be in tune to what, people are really getting into, as far as what's newly emerging. And you got to have a presence in all of these different spaces, from, all of the different social media vantage points to, all of the ways that you can reach people through visuals now. StreamYard, YouTube, all of these things are really important. So I think that's really key, as far as, it's just like a distribution deal, right? You got to be everywhere. So you got to be where all the eyes are. So you got to stay on top of that.
That's great stuff. And again, and most, like I said, our students are trained and are to the idea of how you have to now promote yourself. It's not only, you going to different places. Like, everybody literally is now on their phone all day scrolling, right? And so they need to learn how to make content, whatever it is, whether that be podcasts or shows, to be able to market themselves a certain way. So you guys don't differ in any way. I'm sure different avenues, ways to spread the word, but it's very all unison, if that makes sense. So that's good stuff right there, Derek. KB, I'm gonna go back to you here real quick. I wanted to ask you, what highlights have you had so far since the foundation has started? I mean, I know you have impacted so many communities with this foundation, services, and being able to even inspire the youth and anyone that has a dream. What highlights stand out to you so far with Spread the Love?
Man, just the us being able, like I said earlier, like us giving away, like the things in the community that people need. That was a huge highlight, because I saw people coming out and was like, they were very appreciative. You know what I'm saying? They were like, we really appreciate y'all doing this. And another one was seeing the kid. We have a program within the juvenile system, a music program in the juvenile system in Cleveland, and we've had three graduations already, and like just seeing those kids light up, and seeing like them opening up their creative side, like from and a lot of it had to be pulled out of them, because they're of course they're they're in the juvenile system. They're going through, they're fighting cases, they're going through things, and like to be able to bring that out of them, and watch them graduate and see the proud looks on all their faces and their families, and and the staff that actually works there, like seeing the staff actually singing the songs that they record. Like that was a huge highlight for me. And just people understanding and realizing, going back to that question you asked Dean Loran, well, how do you market something like this? When it's a nonprofit like this and you're trying to do for the community, the best way to market this is not advertise, to publicize. And you publicize by when you go in the community and they see you doing things, and they constantly see you and you being consistent, you're publicizing who you are and what you're doing, and word of mouth, they're going to go tell everybody else. You know what I'm saying? So that's really the best way to do when you have a nonprofit, is to get out in the community, and when people see you, they're going to know exactly what you're doing and who you are.
The traditional way, like it used to be.
Exactly. Exactly.
Without a doubt. No, that most definitely that does make an impact in many different creatives and just ideas. So yeah, without a doubt, I trust you 100% on that one. Ozzy, Ohio Media School, right? Our sister campus out there, actually our father campus, because we came from them. I have to always mention that because Linda may get me. I gotta be careful. But what role are you guys playing with them in regard to the foundation itself? I know that you obviously have collabed in some ways from what I read, but how are you working with the school to be able to get the project out there and continue to work on it?
Oh yeah, sure. So we are super excited about our partnership with Ohio Media School, and really what Kray's vision is for our partnership is to create real world portfolio projects for the students, so that number one, they have it to help them position their career. So as they are launching off into the industry, he wants to do what he can to help them and aid them in that success. And so we're doing that through several projects that we have planned. One being Kray will be actually launching his radio show with the students at OMS. We'll be working on that project with him. And so
Nice.
We really are creating an ecosystem from high school all the way through young adulthood for young professionals to start being exposed, more exposure to careers in arts and entertainment, as well as platforms and pipeways for students to explore those interests and to get the skills development. And so another unique thing about our program is also teaching them where the money is. So a lot of our kids that are caught up now, as Craig just mentioned, in the juvenile detention center and probation youth that we work with, is because, out of that necessity and the struggle, like Craig said, like the struggle music and the struggle is always going to be here. So a lot of these young people get caught up in not only not having extracurricular things to get involved with in the community that they have a unique or a authentic interest in, but it's also imperative to teach them how to make money. So our program not only gives you the skill set, we teach you where the money is, we teach you how to go get it, we teach you how to protect your intellectual property, how to build a brand, how to go get money. So you don't have to be out on necessarily on the streets doing things that will lead to more trouble for you. We actually teach you how to go get bread, and we approach this from an entrepreneurial mindset for students so that they have more autonomy over their careers and the ability to have feasible income. So we're doing that through Ohio Media School. And so those real world opportunities and portfolio pieces could very well be the difference between OMS students being accepted on the project or landing big projects versus other students from other competing schools or areas that don't have those opportunities. So at the end of the day, I think Kray's vision is very inclusive. And at the end of the day, the work that we're putting in ultimately will achieve the mission and the goal of reestablishing Cleveland as the mecca of the music and entertainment space. And so we're happy to be partnered with OMS. And I look forward to seeing you guys tomorrow at the career fair. And so more great projects to come. And so, and the other thing that I want to add is also having the opportunity for OMS students to be able to partner with us on our projects and opportunities, because we have other events We're working on some big opportunities with the city of Cleveland and Destination Cleveland that we are putting together this year. So we want to create opportunities as well. So not just for them to work on Kray's show, but to come out and get other opportunities, experiences, and if nothing else, be able to shadow and make connections.
That's dope. Dope. I love what I'm hearing. And thank you for the promo, by the way. We have a career fair at all 7 campuses. That's a reminder to everybody on here. Don't forget.
And just to let you know, we do have something in the works where, because Kray is always everywhere all the time, it's hard keeping up with him from that perspective. But for OMS, what that means also is that as he's in Denver, as he's in Chicago, as he's in Miami, we're already working on projects to get those students involved. So Chicago, Miami, Denver, Columbus, Cincinnati, all you guys get ready, because we are working behind the scenes to create opportunities for you guys as well. And this is just the beginning of that.
Music to my ears. I love to hear it. Spreading the love. I mean,
Exactamundo.
Literally.
Derek, I want to ask you, just what would you tell young people when it comes to marketing in itself, right? There's so much pressure to be able to post or to be able to talk to somebody, to a higher up, right? Or to be able to present something to someone that can believe in your product. It's always an intimidating factor when it comes to something like this, especially for the youth and people who are trying to get into it. So what advice would you give to somebody when it comes to, maybe they want to do a foundation or they have their own company, whatever the case may be? How would you tell them to approach it from the beginning?
To approach it, just, you're talking about from specifically a marketing vantage point?
Yeah, from a marketing vantage point. Yes, I'm sorry.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I would say, the first thing you want to do is find something similar to identify with and to set as a goal to be like. Find something that somebody is already doing what you want to do on the level that you want to do it, and model it. Don't try to reinvent the wheel. Now, you also obviously with your creativity is going to automatically come through in the creative side of whatever you're doing. But as far as marketing and getting it out there, you need to find a similar company, similar entity, something that's on the scale that you want to aspire to be like, and study everything that they did, and find out what works for you within that space, and try to do it to the best of your ability. Find out, and again, that being said, it kind of harkens back to what we said earlier. Regardless of any of that, you still got to be who you are authentically through this process. You got to find out who, and that's how you'll find out who authentically is your target demographic that you're marketing to. One of the biggest mistakes that people make is they market themselves or their product or services to the wrong people that from the beginning will not be interested in your product. So you got to find who your target demographic is, and then find out everything about them about the way that they live their life. What the kind of music they listen to, what television shows they watch, what books they read, everything what products they buy, especially what products they buy that make or services are similar to yours, and find that through line to see what makes those products or services attractive to your target demographic, and find how you fit within that space.
That's good. That's good stuff right there, man. This I guess this next question could be for KB. For any of you, anybody can answer this. When it comes to trends and what you're seeing out there, foundations or whatever non-for-profits that you're seeing out in the business world, what trends, I guess, should you be attached to when it comes to being able to present your product, your service, or whatever it is that you do? KB, you can answer that if you want to. Have you noticed anything that is common when it comes to non-profit organizations, or maybe being able to present it to a community of sorts?
I honestly can't say that I have, because I really haven't been focusing on what anybody else is doing, because I just feel like we have enough vision right now to where we don't really need to like look into. I mean, we're definitely aware of other foundations, because we could become a partner with one of these foundations one day. So we're definitely aware, but like I haven't really like I haven't really seen anything like what I'm saying, like you was asking me, honestly, in my opinion.
OC, anything? Have you noticed anything on your end? Maybe a trend of sorts, or something that you picked up on to be able to push the movement or the nonprofit?
It's a lot of trends. Like, you want more negative trends, or you want positive trends, or
whatever you see that I guess
a common thread. What I will say, with any nonprofit, big or small, finding money and fundraising is always going to be one of the number one priorities, because at the end of the day, we know everything costs. And so one of the unique positions about nonprofit work is, the constant cycle. And what we have been seeing since we've been going down this road is kind of like identifying kind of the paths to take. Because there's a lot, when you go down this road, there's a lot of organizations, a lot of people vying for your time and your attention when you are applying for funding. A lot of funders may think that that's the green light for them to occupy all of your time and attention. And so, it's a delicate balance of being able to weed through and find opportunities that, number one, that the requirements don't outweigh the benefits. And so I think as the nonprofit space, a lot of the powers that be are realizing some things that need to change. And the partners that we have been fortunate enough to partner with, like Cuyahoga County Courts and Cuyahoga County, the city of Cleveland, and a few other partners, that they understand that, and they're doing what they can now to make the adjustments to make it a little bit more user-friendly, if you will, for nonprofit workers. And we just launched our first mental health event. So Spread the Love also has a mental health initiative that we launched in 2024, which is called Spread the Healing Mental Health Mindfulness for Nonprofit Leaders. And we encountered a lot of success with that event, and it ended up being more successful than we thought. And actually the attendees asked for us to do it more frequently than once a year. So this year we'll actually be doing it twice this year. And so just doing what we can, because we understand that our organization is a bit more uniquely positioned, because not everybody has a Krayzie Bone, and so, or a D. Loren or a OC. So with Kray's vision and our desire, all of our desire, is how we can support other nonprofits in the work that we're doing to, again, spread the love. So we try to spread love in every sense of the word. And through that, we believe in partnership and teamwork and coming together, because we do know that together, everyone achieves more. So that is our vision, and that's our mantra.
Oh, so you a motivational speaker, or have you done that before? Or have you,
you can book me for a small fee.
Man, you got me lit right now. I'm ready to go bust through a brick wall.
I've been doing this for a long time, sir. But not the public speaking. I'm a behind the scenes person, which is where I like to be. But very dedicated to the mission, and we've actually been going down this road for a long time, really since 2006. So this is a revamp of a program that D. Loren started in 2006 that had a lot of success. So this is a revamp of that and delivering it to the masses. So really excited about it. I know it like the back of my hand, in my sleep, blindfolded in every which way else. But yeah, lots of success.
I love it. I absolutely love it. We're going to get to some questions here now in our Q&A session. Krayzie, I did want to ask you one quick question before we get to the question. Just a final thought from you here. as you a final thought for our audience in regards to like what you've accomplished, in your career / into this now. What's a word you will leave to our students out there before we get to our questions?
Man, I would just, like I said earlier, being authentic will always win. No matter if you have a whole, if you see don't be scared if you see everybody doing the same thing to the right. Don't be scared to go to the left. You know what I'm saying? Don't be scared to stand out, especially if you're talented, because a lot of people get caught up, they let these labels tell them who they are. Oh no, you have to sound like this. You got to write like this. To me, it has limited the versatility that we have that we had in music, like a few years ago. Like when we were coming up, nobody sounded like nobody. Mm-hmm. It was hard to find a artist that sounded like another artist in the era we was coming up. Now it's like everybody sounds like everybody. It's like, don't be scared to stand out and do your own thing, especially if you're talented, because you will eventually break through and you will have everybody come from the right to the left doing what you do. You know what I'm saying? So just don't be scared to be you, and always stand on you.
Got you. I'm gonna take that advice, KB.
Yes, indeed.
Appreciate that. That's awesome, man. Well, yeah, let's get to our Q&A session. We got a couple questions here on the chat, so we want to definitely spotlight them, and then anybody can take the question unless it's pertained right to you. Sound of the Rain says, do you feel fame is required for an artist to be successfully financially in making music? Can an artist maintain a sense of privacy and low keyness but still be successful?
Man, I wish I could say yes, because I would apply for that for that position. You know what I'm saying? Because unfortunately, the fame comes with it. Some people love it. Me myself, it's a bit overrated. You know what I'm saying? But if you making noise, man, if you making noise in the music industry and people loving your stuff, you are going to get famous. That just comes with it. The more people love you, the more famous you get. So there's really not no way around that, unless you just want to be a producer but even producers is famous now. So like I said, there ain't no way around it, man. You got to be famous.
I hear you. Thank you for the question, Sound of Rain. I think do we have another question? Yes, we do. Let's cut to the question here. This is from Trudier. I hope I said that wrong. If I said it wrong, I'm sorry. They asked, tell me something that's going to change my life.
What? Change your life? I don't understand. I don't really know
what you're that right now to know how to change it, but
yeah, I don't really understand. Like, know how your life is going.
AI is going to change your life.
AI.
Oh no!
Prepare for changes.
There you go. Dawn's on the chat here. She's asking, is Spread the Love hiring? I'll move my family out of Columbus. I'm a volunteer with entertainment too.
That's an OC question.
Well, Spread the Love is always looking for talented individuals. So whether it's in the space of being a staff member or being a part of our team through volunteerism, also as an intern. So there's plenty of ways for people to get involved. And if you're interested in following up with us, you can always go to visit and drop us a line. There's a form on the website for spreadtheloveoh.com that you can fill out, and we'll get that and we can follow up with you if you're interested.
Thank you very much. Belinda has a question. She says, how do I start the music union based out of Cincinnati, Ohio, where I rep?
Well, I'm quite sure you could there's you would have to do research on that. You know what I'm saying? I'm not like familiar on how to start a music union, but it's definitely something that needs to be done. So I would suggest you just like do the research on how to start a music union. You know, because I know they're starting to be done now, especially in hip hop. You know, so yeah, I think that is definitely the trend.
Okay. Thank you very much. Let's continue here. I know there's a couple questions still here. Next question is from Scooter St. James. He says, "Is there a chapter of Spread the Love in Chicago?"
As of today, there is not, but there are plans for Spread the Love to branch out. And we've had quite a few states reach out to us already who are interested in partnering with us to deliver our program. So Dade County and Miami for the students that are on here for Miami. So Dade County is one of the counties that has contacted Spread the Love about our programming and how to deliver our programming there. As well as Pennsylvania and Texas. So we do have future plans to branch out. And so we're working to get there. At this particular time, we don't. However, we are planning to bring opportunities to the students at OMS in Chicago. Yes.
Got you. Real quick, shout out to Chudier. He just mentioned to me it was more of a comment when I asked the question, or it was more of a statement in the comment. So we got you, Chudier. Thank you for writing back to us. Scooter, as a question to KB, he says, "Can you tell us about a specific memory you had as a member of BTH? Also, what was your experience with Mariah Carey like?"
Well, one of the highlight memories I always tell everybody, man, is when we first actually met Eazy-E, like the way we met him, you know, because we were out in California, you know, we were living with somebody, and we had got the number to his office, and we kept calling him and calling him, and he called us back, and he told us that he had a show in Cleveland. So we had to hustle up money to get back on the bus to make it back to Cleveland because we had a hookup to open up the show. And like, man, like we met him after the show, and he was like, "Yo, I want to take y'all back to LA. I'm gonna have bus tickets for you." He had bus tickets at the Greyhound. He left us some money, and you know that's my biggest highlight is when we first met Easy and we knew it was about to pop off. As far as Mariah Carey, man, that's one of the homies. You know what I'm saying? Like she was cool. She was cool. Just ever since the first song we done, like she's always been a good friend of mine. You know what I'm saying? She's always came through for us, and whenever she called us, we there. So she's definitely a good friend for sure.
All right. Another question here. Sound of the Rain says, "Do you feel there's room for older, new artists in today's industry? As a 44-year-old father and husband that doesn't really make music, that may connect with the youth."
I mean, you know, the one thing I don't like about the genre of hip hop is that they put an age on it when, like, you know, no other music genre does that. You know what I'm saying? And you know, I'm going to give it up to hip hop. Hip hop is only 50 years old. You know what I'm saying? Like that's very very young in industry years. It's old in human life. You know what I'm saying? But like that ain't. You know what I'm saying? Like it's kind of still immature to me. Once we figure out how to treat and respect our legends and honor them like the R&B genre does, like rock, pop, country music, then you know I think they'll get the picture. But because to me this is not a sport. We don't have to tap out at 30 years old. In this thing that we do, if you're a true artist, you get better with time. So don't never let nobody tell you you're too old to make music because that's not the truth.
Well said. Well said. Another question from Scooter. He says, "What advice would you give to someone that wants to break out in the industry but lack of resources and support?"
Man, it's hard, man. Like what we did when we ran out of lack of resources, and I won't say support because we have support in the city, but we ran out of resources, so we had to get up and we had to go find those resources. You know what I'm saying? That's like that's what you got to do. You can't sit there and just wait for it to come to you. You gotta go where it's popping at. You gotta go where you gotta go where it's gonna happen. If that's LA, if that's New York, if that's Atlanta, wherever the music is or the audience that you're searching for, that's where you have to go. You got to go to it. You got to run to it. You can't sit back and be like, oh yeah, it's gonna come around my way, because it's not. You got to go get it.
We do got time for one more question here before we do wrap up. Oh, Sir Linda's gonna pop up that question. Awesome. She said, Dawn says, awesome. She loves the radio. Does she need a portfolio? I'm assuming that's for Ozzy.
Yeah, for the radio. So yeah.
That would actually be a question for Linda and OMS. So unfortunately, we don't have any. I won't say we don't have any say, but the students are selected based on OMS and their current enrollment. However, if you are interested in a career in radio and you are not a student at OMS, this is a sign for you that this is where you need to be. But there's plenty of opportunity. So if you would like to be involved in what we do, please send us contact us on our website. There's a form on there that you can complete. But if you are specifically interested in working on Krayzie Bone's radio show, The Kraylists, that is a question for OMS, because they will be selecting the students for the project.
Okay. Very good. Linda, you want to go two more questions here real quick? We have a couple up there. If we can just go two more, if you guys don't mind answering two more questions.
Yeah, I'm good.
Okay. Let's go two more questions here real quick. And we'll go from there. I'll wait for Linda here to pop up a question. I want to do it in her order. Here we go. Jose Alicea does right. I like how Krayzie Bone is really here and didn't just send his phenomenal team. Thank you guys for your time. More of a comment.
Hi, Jose. I met him last week at the mock interviews.
Nice.
All good.
Very good. Very good. Let's keep it going here with some more comments on here. I know one of my guys here from Chicago really want to get this question in, so I'm going to do him the favor. He says, what do you like? What do you like and what don't you like about what music sounds like today? I know you kind of expressed it a little bit, KB, but is there any specifics in there?
Man, what I like the fact that these young guys, these young artists, they're getting their money. But like I said, I don't like the fact they're getting all this money and they don't understand what the money is. You know what I'm saying? Like a lot of these artists don't understand that money is not like that money has to be paid back.
It's
you
not
know
there.
So yeah, so like I don't like the miseducation. I don't like the, like I don't like the repetitiveness. I like to, like when I'm listening to an artist, when I put a certain artist on, I want to go into their mode. Not the same mode I just heard the last cat doing. You know what I'm saying? So, but I love it. I love that these guys is getting their money. You know what I'm saying? And they are helping to actually expand the industry as far as the business goes, as far as what artists get. But we have to get educated.
Yep, that's good stuff right there. And we got time for one last question here before we wrap up. The Raw Prophet just asked a question here. He's asking, how do I get more resources on the south side of Chicago for his music? And Ozzy, I know you kind of expressed that you guys are going to be coming or you're going to be working with Chicago at some point soon.
Well, Craig is always touring in Chicago. He's there at least, I would say, a minimum of 4 times a year. But if you're interested in working with us specifically from Chicago, you can contact us through the website. And also, Linda here at OMS in Cleveland is a great resource for you. And let me just simply add this on the end of that question or that comment what Craig just said, that at the end of the day, any artist has to be willing to invest in themselves. So if you are not willing to invest in yourself, and it's going to cost some money, it costs money. So if you don't have resources, you need a job. So the dream is free, but lights, gas, and water cost money. Okay. And there are a number of avenues and channels, from ads, putting ads behind your money, behind your successful project. So post something, the things that get the most views, put a few dollars behind it on an ad spend, and target it to a specific area and concentrate on that instead of trying to reach everybody. If you even put $5 behind your ad spend, you're going to get views. The thing that most people want to do, or they think is like some magic that's going to fall out the sky, that they just going to wake up one day and they going to be rich, or they going to have 1 million followers, and how to translate that to money. But at the end of the day, understand that this business is 90% business and 10% talent. And if you are not willing to invest in yourself, in your art, in your whatever it is, that why would somebody else want to come and invest in you? So you have to. If you got $5, put that $5 and know how to spend it. Do the research and educate yourself on how to best to spend your $5.
Yep. That is awesome. I love it. I love it. I love it. Thank you so much for that answer. Ace 400. We will get to your. We will respond to you a little after this, because we do have to wrap it up. So I do apologize for that. But I do see Linda on the screen. So before Linda closes us out, first of all, Derek, thank you for your insight, man. You are the face of social media. Don't let nobody tell you that, man. You good. Good. OC, you very professional. You got me riled up right now. I'm about to go run 5 miles by Lake Michigan here real quick. So thank you for that. And finally, KB, man, icon, legend. I still listen on the first of the month, and you guys really did impact my childhood when I was growing up listening to your music on Bone Thugs. So honor and pleasure to talk to you and to talk about your foundation, man. It was a pleasure.
Yes, indeed. Appreciate it, man.
Absolutely. Linda?
Yes. I have to tell you, it was such a great hour. I forgot I had to watch the questions that we're scrolling through, but thank you so much to our panel. It was amazing, the amount of wisdom and really practical application that you offered everybody that was listening, using good common sense and your brain, and letting your brain and your knowledge drive that thing that you want to do, and not to depend. You can't depend on others to do the things that you need to do. Others support you, but you're the start. You're what gets things going. And Cray, I just love that story that you headed off to California with nothing. I could just see you as a young kid, like, okay, we've got nothing, but we're headed to California because this is what we want to do.
Go.
And right? And that's where the dream exists still today. You have to really get that fire underneath yourself and move forward. So, thank you for all of the insight. We are so excited, the Be On Air Network, to be partnering with these wonderful, wonderful people, to be a part of Kray's legend in the industry, to, meet somebody like O.C. May, who is so caring and knowledgeable and wanting to really make a difference in people's lives as well. And then you, Derek D. Loren, whatever I'm going to call you, you are truly amazing. You have your hand in so many different projects, and your marketing and your thinking about business is very crystal clear. And so you can see how this organization is one that you'd want to be attached to and make a difference to raise up others so that they too can have opportunity. So I hope for all that are listening, that was a long goodbye, but I hope that you're going to join us and be a part of Spread the Love Foundation and be a part of the Be On Air Network. And together we are planning to continue to do great things and do it with you. So thank you all for joining us.
Thank you.
All right.
Linda.
Thank you.
We appreciate it.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank
Right.
you. Good
Oh.
night, everybody.
Good night.
Don't leave.